What's up, everybody? Oh, we're live.
Yeah, a lot less fanfare, just hanging out.
Yep, no intro today, but we do get
Cassian Andor.
Abso-friggin-lutely. I can't
Never
wait.
forget.
Can't wait.
I'm so excited for this episode.
Yeah. What's been the best episode so far?
I really thought the last one was probably the best. Either that one or the one before. I think this whole like prison arc has just been the best one to me so far.
Yeah.
it's been difficult to pick, honestly, and that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Well, they build on each other so.
Yeah, I was about to
well.
say it's not like a show where one individual episode is like substantially better than another, like some of the other
Reset that schedule.
live action shows. I feel like.
What's up, Rams? Congratulations, by the way. What do you
What's
guys
up,
think
Rams?
will
Rams
happen
was
on tonight's episode.
Rams was hanging out, and when I went live earlier today to play some Overwatch on the TikTok, because I don't want them to get rid of my ability to go live. So I had to make sure to do something.
I've never been live on TikTok. I don't know if it would be because I feel like such a small percentage of people are like available to watch when people go live that it's kind of like
And
might be weird me chilling in there with like 3 people.
I think it's it feels a lot better to know that they've chosen you, though.
That's true.
Also, you're chilling in here with 3 people. You know, like it's the same.
True. But I guess it's weird when it's just me, you know? I think
Yeah, I usually
would
try
be-
to do something like read a book while hanging out. I used to be able to stream games, but apparently 4 hours isn't enough for them.
Yeah.
golly.
When they gave the ability, there was like stipulations. It was like in the first week you have to do X amount of hours and like do something on this many days, and then the 2 weeks after that was this, and then like a month was this, and like it was a weird ever-changing thing.
Yeah, but for that first 7-day trial, it was 2 times, 25 minutes each. And we streamed 4 times for a total of 4 hours.
That wasn't good enough.
They probably didn't appreciate me advertising my YouTube channel on it, though.
Honestly, I think they would have taken it away from me had I not been accepted into the TikTok gaming program, which I don't even know why I even got an invite. And then they're like, oh, you can do it, but you have to make a video game content, so link us to one of the videos that you've made. It's like, I haven't made a video game video in like a year. So I made one, and then they're like, yeah, whatever. I was like, okay, cool.
I think the one I could point to is our Sotora adventure when I think I bet $1 if I could make it before the thing left. Those are good times. Yeah, I asked Chalker this, but I'll ask all of you guys, what's your favorite Star Wars item you own? I just recently put it back, but it's definitely my Satil Sean hilt.
I have to think on that.
What's up, Kiosco?
I think maybe my favorite Star Wars item I own, it's kind of 3 items, but it's like a box set. I found it at a Goodwill in like the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. But it's a box set of the original VHS tapes from the 80s of the original trilogy, unedited. So it's really cool little
Not the
little
special
item.
edition.
Nice.
I have the special editions, but this is the, before George went off the cuffs a little with the CGI.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, imagine how much better this scene would be if we added a CGI lizard to just run across the screen for just a few seconds. And everyone at
My
Lucasfilm
favorite-
was just like, okay.
My favorite addition has to be. I mean, by the way, in Empire Strikes Back, it was very tastefully done.
Yes,
Say that.
I can agree with
Like,
that.
Bespin was beautiful, but my favorite is A New Hope, where there's a scene and just a goddamn dinosaur walks across the whole screen for like 10 full
Hey
seconds.
guys, new
and you're
tech.
like,
Yeah. And is that the one where like a stormtrooper's like riding it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, Pep's favorite creature, a dewback. But yeah.
Well, let's go back to Rams's initial question. What do you guys think will happen in tonight's episode besides the break? I think we're gonna meet Afra. I know it's out of left field, but I think.
Well,
I want
I
to.
thought about the other day. I was like, why did it never occur to me that like this is a timeline where Thrawn could show up?
This is true.
So I have no expectation for that, and I honestly don't even know if I want it to happen. But if it did, I'd lose my mind. So
Yeah.
Actually, I have to update that. My favorite Star Wars item is every High Republic book that I have signed.
oh, that's neat.
Because before that, I didn't have any signed stuff.
Hey, Rams, what did I say mine was? You recall?
I also have a trading card. I have one signed by Daisy Ridley and one signed by John Boyega. I do like
Oh.
those.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's cool. Well, I don't know if you said it, but spoiler alert, I said the same thing as you, Pep.
It just happens.
Dyad stuff.
It's a dyad moment.
We have so many. It's just like I think on High Ground last week, right? No, it was on Dyad last week. We both said misrepresentation of Mace Windu. It was the first edition High Republic book.
It's my signed High Republic books.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the ones from Celebration.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh, that is.
He had a
dope.
proxy in line for him.
I feel like you almost had to, because I wasn't even at Celebration. I was getting like secondhand anxiety from people trying to get those books at Celebration.
Literally, everyone was like, "Yeah, if you get in line, it'll be 4 hours." And you're like, "What? No, like that." Apparently, I don't know. I heard they switched companies and it was just horribly mismanaged, and no one knew what was going on. And I feel for them because I've had to be part of people that run events, some similar to that, and yeah, sometimes it's garbage and no one knows what's happening, and you just have to stand there and be like, "It's my job to keep these people from rioting." So.
Yeah.
Gonna project calm and cool energy. But yeah, so when you come to San Diego Comic-Con, which is pretty big, sometimes we have no idea what's going on. And we're like, just wait in this line. And like, I have no idea where these people are supposed to go. Can you figure this out before this line gets too long? Okay, thank you. That stuff happens.
I love it.
Another lightning round. What's your favorite moment as a Star Wars fan? Because by proxy, mine is delivering Daniel Jose Older black coffee. Because we're like that, we're tight
That is
like
really
that.
cool.
And
I
then
think
like,
for me,
and then he came out to the front and was like, "What up, guys?" Just like to everybody.
trying to act cool.
No, he was. You know what's really cool is the authors when they're on stage, they're celebrities, but as soon
Yeah.
as they got off, they blend in, and I would see. I'd be like, "Oh my god, I know you. I just don't know which one you are." Oh no! That's for I know all the High Republic people, but
Yeah, I was about to say,
It
I
was the
probably
other
know
one.
like a handful of what Star Wars authors look like.
Oh, we were in
well,
line
it turns
for one of
out
the
I ran into
panels.
Kirsten White is who I ran
Oh.
into. I couldn't recognize her, so I didn't say anything. Also, I mean, I ran into E.K. Johnson, but I did recognize her
Yeah.
and got her to sign a poster of every outfit Padme's in the prequels.
Yeah, that was
And,
pretty serendipitous.
Yeah. And currently, Camilla has it. I sent that over to her.
Yeah, it's neat.
And for my wife, she actually sent over Ewok Mickey Mouse ears.
That's cute. Is your wife a big Star Wars fan? Or at least like a Star Wars fan in general?
Oh no, she's a Star Wars fan, and she has read all the High Republic books. She's mad because I haven't put on
They're married. The
Any
fandom
of
is
the
a
new
joint
ones?
account.
Not I mean, my wife is more into like K-dramas and stuff, but she's definitely a fan, but it's cool because it's like agreeable interests, but not the same.
Yeah, I feel like that's
And I
that's
think
a
that's
good
better.
happy medium. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's that's why we're a dyad, because he's married. She's a K-drama fan. I'm a Star Wars fan and a K-drama fan. So I cover both sides of the spectrum.
Exactly.
I love it. I have a friend and she's trying to get me into some K dramas, and it's not that I don't want to. It's just that like how you stream them just seems kind of complex. At least the one she wants me to watch.
There's a lot more on Netflix nowadays.
Yeah,
You know,
so I might need
there's
to start with a Netflix one.
There's actually a really cool YouTube channel. It's called Watching Sundays, and they cover K-dramas. And you might find something very interesting. I still, by the way, that's Pep's channel with his brother. I've still been meaning to check out that one I mentioned, though, because the plot just sounds infinitely like interesting.
What one did you mention?
It is called Psychopath Diary.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one. Rams's favorite Star Wars item is first edition Thrawn book. It's signed.
Ooh,
nice.
That is like a gold mine. I would love to have that.
All right, Allison, I'm gonna hit you with the plot of this K-drama that I want to watch. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I'm excited.
It's called Psychopath Diary. Basically, the plot is there's someone who basically gets in an accident, loses memory, has amnesia, finds a diary. The diary was previously owned by someone who is a psychopath and like crazy and all this stuff. And so he thinks this is his.
Oh.
And so it's yeah. And so like it has like a log of like his murders and stuff like that. And so he thinks that that's him, and he's trying to figure out like who he is. Does he continue doing that because it's written there because that's who he thinks he is? You know, what's nature versus nurture? Just sounds really interesting.
It sounds
That does
interesting.
sound super interesting, yeah.
Though, Allison, if you want something that's on Netflix, I recommend Hotel Del Luna.
Hotel Del Luna. I'll have to check that one out. I'll have to see. My friend has suggested so many to me that might be one of the ones that she suggested.
Just
I'll have to.
trust your friend. Trust your friend.
Well,
Give it 3 episodes, and then text them and be like,
I trust you all as well. If Hotel Del Luna is good, then I trust.
I mean,
I
the
trust
premise
that it will
is
be.
that it's a hotel for the dead.
Ooh, I do like that. Do you guys watch Umbrella Academy at all?
yes.
I did. I'm not up to date.
Yeah. The newest season of that was pretty wild.
It was wild, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean-
I did too.
We got a whole dance sequence and stuff out of him, and it was just perfect. Like, yeah. No, I've been following Umbrella Academy since like 2012, and I'm happy
Yeah.
that they're gonna start you're bringing back the comics. Obviously, Gerard Way is a busy dude, so
Yeah, I'm with
get it.
you. I'm a big MCR fan, so I started reading Umbrella Academy loosely back when they were coming out. And then when the show kind of came out, I was like, what is this? Like, it's a loose interpretation, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I at least like it better than being like trying to strictly adhere to the comics, but not doing it well enough.
Exactly.
At least, like, if you're going to make it a loose interpretation, just do that. So I don't actually mind it. I really like it.
Ooh. I know we're just like diving down on other fandoms because I'm just excited here. Did you watch the BBC show Misfits?
I didn't.
I wanted to start it, but I wanted to also kind of not miss the opportunity to make a reaction out of it.
That's fair. That's
First
fair.
time, it's a big thing on YouTube. First time watching.
Mm-hmm.
And it's big with like fandoms too. Like first time watching Supernatural, first time watching Misfits, first time watching Doctor Who. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, considering I haven't seen most things, I probably should do that. But
That's what we're doing.
so Misfits, it's like these kids. They're like on probation. They're all bad kids. And something happens, and they all start getting superpowers. And they have these like wild adventures. But I mean, this show's from 2009. So Klaus from Umbrella Academy is one of the main characters.
Oh, no
in
way.
it when he's young.
You need to look this up.
Ramsay from Game of Thrones is in it.
What?
Young.
One of the hot doctors from
like-
Good Doctor.
I will admit I don't watch a lot of doctoring shows anymore.
Sarah Temmie asks, do you believe the rebels, Luthen Rail, have an insider source in ISB feeding him intel on Andor? Well, current timeline, Fulcrum's in there.
Who the current Fulcrum is? I don't know. Who do you think it is?
I think it's Callus right now.
No, it can't be Callus yet. This is season 1 Rebels.
Yeah, but Ahsoka comes back at the end of season 1.
But Agent Callus isn't it yet. He doesn't until like season.
I don't know about that. There are multiple Fulcrum agents. Andor was Fulcrum while Ahsoka was Fulcrum.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying in a timeline, Callus hadn't been converted yet. I don't think, unless did those episodes drop in season 1? I thought that was late in season 2.
I always understood it as Callus didn't have like that change of heart until he was with Zeb in the
Yeah, they had
cave.
their romantic icy getaway.
the romantic date.
That episode did hit me really hard though when Callus was like, "Hey everyone, I survived," and they're like, "We don't care. Who are you?" What's your
Yeah,
name?"
and he just
What's your rank?
wanders back to his little cell with his little heat rock. It's so sad.
I do think they have an insider though, whether or not it's Fulcrum or someone else. There's bound to be someone. I mean, that they had Lieutenant Gorn, who was in on the inside for Aldani.
I think there's more people that see these atrocities. Yeah.
My favorite Star Wars moment was meeting Sam Witwer. I ran into him on the street. When I realized it was him, I kind of had a fangirl moment.
I would love to run into Sam Witwer on the street. What street was this?
How's it going,
Need to go to
Macomba?
that street.
Out of everyone, I guess you've met, who were you guys most excited to see?
Out of everyone I've met, probably
Mutual.
Cassie and Andor. Cassian Andor.
I know it was mutuals. Alison, are you going to London?
I'm not going to London. I contemplated it. However, I don't have a passport, and I've never like traveled overseas. So I was like, the timing would be better for me to go next year, and I'm assuming next year will be somewhere in the United States.
Probably Florida.
And if it's Florida, that's even better because I have family down there that I can stay with. Tokyo. If it's Tokyo, that'd be insane. I would go so fast. Like, ship me my passport, get me my plane tickets. But,
well, if you can make things happen. Well, no, you didn't. I don't think they're not doing the resales for this year, are they?
Really? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they were doing light exchange this year.
Maybe they don't allow that in
If they
England.
do, and you can make it happen, we do have room in the hype house. I hate calling it a hype house, but it's just a big house for everyone.
Maybe. It's in April, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might have to look into that, but yeah, it's a little bit more of a stretch than like Anaheim. You know?
Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe next year. I mean, every time we do these celebrations, we're always going to have a whole bunch of people stay in one house, so that like at the end of the day, we can all still hang out versus like all going back to our hotel rooms and just like being alone. You know?
Yeah.
It was fun in Anaheim.
It looked so fun. I wanted to go so badly, but it was like right when I was studying for my board exam, so that would have been not very good for my for that test.
All right, so the episode is out. Looks like Andor will team up with his cellmates to break out. Looks like it. Out of every author or actor, who are you guys most excited to see meet? Probably Daniel Jose Older, just because we had more rapport and had known each other.
I guess it might sound weird. I don't really fanboy over things. It's way more exciting for me to meet mutuals. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, but they specifically
he was
asked,
a mutual. You know,
they specifically asked author and actor. But yeah, but it was meeting all of the mutuals, just like, you know, walking through the convention center and just like happening by people that you were following or following you.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have another best moment. Best moment was right before I got to meet Diego Luna. I was like on my way over, and then I saw Stardust M bursting through the crowd, and then I was like, "Hold up, all right,
Not mine.
I gotta watch this." And watching her talk to him was like,
Well, the group watch link,
It
by
was
the way,
awesome.
is in the thread.
It's so cute.
and then I asked her later, and she's like, "I have no recollection of what was said," and like, you talked to him for like 2.5 full minutes. Like, other people couldn't talk to him because
I feel like time would slow down and like I would enter some ethereal plane if I got to talk to Diego Luna. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to behave.
you know what? If I did get to actually talk with Mark Hamill, I would probably have that moment as well.
Yeah, same.
Man.
But I feel like
Yeah.
that's the only one.
Really? Even Harrison?
I mean, I've met Harrison. I saw him
What?
in Laguna Beach, and he was just walking on the street, and like, I felt bad because people were hounding him.
Yeah.
Allison, did you get the group watch link?
Let me see. I didn't get a notification.
Yeah, it's
see
just
anything.
in our little group chat.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my little Discord app just shut down. That explains why I didn't get it. But I'm on there now. Should be.
For me, nothing will ever beat meeting Jackie Chan, and that's just personally like one of my heroes.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
But I would fanboy over Star Wars actors for sure. Okay, guys, if you're tuning in and waiting to start the episode, I apologize, but it's still technically not midnight yet, so we're still early. But we are going to start right now, and if you want to watch along with us, the episode timer will start as soon as we press play. So without further ado, as I stop this music, we shall get started here. 3, 2, 1.
And away we go.
Something's wrong on 2. Something's really wrong on 2.
It takes a week for one word to get all the way up here, and you're panicking about something that's happening on the other side of the building.
Uh-oh, your camera is... You got something else trying to access your camera?
I'm purple.
I need a loan.
Nope.
Someone in mind.
Switch off of the camera and then come back. There you go.
He's not a banker. He's a thug. Breathing sounds weak. The doctor was here yesterday.
Okay, Salvo, do you think Salvo's a person of color?
Of course, yeah.
Hold your position.
I have a new idea. Enter Krieger. I want you to meet him.
Oh, Anto Krieger.
Probably the Imperial Power Station at Spellhouse.
We've got a rebel pilot in custody, one of Anto Krieger's group. We don't think Krieger knows he's gone missing yet.
What if we foul the ship? Have the pilot found dead in the cockpit?
Make it so top priority, quickly and carefully we leave no trace.
Can't save it. Nothing to save. He's had a massive stroke. What happened down on 2? A man who was just released on 4 ended up back on 2 the next day. Word got out on the floor and then they killed them all.
No one's getting out, are they?
Not now. Not after this.
Oh, I'm ready.
I'm
ready.
so ready. I can tell I'm gonna be stressed this episode.
I thought I was going to go into the Force theme.
It did kind of sound like that.
By the way, shout out to Star Wars Music Minute. Please check out that podcast. It is amazing. It's musicians analyzing these episodes, but largely through the lens of music. And it's just really cool.
Sometimes I forget the Andor title card starts off in space and I'm staring at my screen waiting for a ship to drop out of hyperspace.
We need to go tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You heard me?
Go where?
Anyway, it has to be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We can't wait. We'll never have a better chance.
You sound insane.
No, listen to me. They don't have enough guards, and they know it. They're afraid. Right now, they're afraid.
Afraid? Afraid of what?
They just killed 100 men to keep them quiet. What would you call that?
I'd call that power.
Power. Power doesn't panic. 5,000 men are about to find out they're never living here alive. Don't you think that worries them upstairs? Whatever we're making here is clearly something they need. They can't afford to be surprised again. There'll never be less guards than tomorrow. You know that!
On program.
Every day we wait, they get stronger.
It might be wise to have a plan.
We have a plan.
Oh, what, you and Burnock and Melcy?
You don't have time to be stupid.
Come on!
Oh gosh.
Plan works around a new man coming up. They'll replace Olaf tomorrow. That might not happen again until it's too late. I'd rather die trying to take them down than die giving them what they want.
Damn.
Quotable moment.
Everything.
Series is
It's been
full of
quotable,
them.
and it's been 1 minute.
Yeah.
Program.
On blue, proceed directly to your cell. Where is he? Keep to the center lane. You have 30 seconds to get on your sleeping platforms.
Who was it? The old guy.
New man, tomorrow.
What's going on?
The old guy. Tell them.
Tell us what?
A doctor came out.
Didn't do much, did he?
Kino.
Get off the floor. This is-
Yeah. Cassian.
You can talk in your room.
Jesus.
I forget his name is Keith.
It's worse than that. It's why. He said they'd made a mistake and sent back a man who'd just been released. They fried 2 shifts to keep it quiet.
Heard him say
How
this.
many even know that?
I don't believe it.
He's only a doctor. They would never tell him.
No one is getting out!
Yes.
It's true. The rumors are true.
All I hear is Snoke.
They're not letting us go. Never. We're gonna die here, or in the next place. So let's get our heads back in our cells and start figuring this out.
Krieger's men took the bait. They're asking for a landing bay.
You found it? We're towing it in, sir.
Pilot dead, ship adrift, port of origin unknown. Catherine Rescue Salvage reports unresponsive GPE 7000. Operator appears to have frozen following hydraulic failure on hyperspace re-entry.
It worked.
We hang back and wait.
Suggestion, sir.
Yes.
I don't think we should step away.
Go on.
We should do what we normally do. Unidentified ship, dead pilot. We'd want to take a look, wouldn't we? Let's assume Krieger's watching. The least suspicious thing that we could do would be to take an interest.
That is exactly what we will do.
That's smart. Finally. But screw him.
Listen up! We are done with counting shifts. There is only then and now. There is only one way out. Play it how you want. But I'm gonna assume I'm already dead. And take it from there. There's no sense in wanting the night shift. They'll hear about it one way or another soon enough. Let's make it look good.
New protocol announcement. All Skybridge transfers will be on program and silent until further notice. Any shift not in full compliance will be punished collectively. On program now.
On program!
Admiral Moy. We're just not sure what to do. She needs her meds, she knows it. But we caught her hiding them now, and when I asked her what she thought she was up to, she said your pills were putting her off her food, and she'd rather keep eating them than she return to your
I was here once, 30 years ago. I just left Chandrilla, and my boss at the time thought I'd enjoy seeing it.
Has it changed much?
I can't tell. Didn't pay enough attention. Suppose I thought I'd be coming back regularly.
It's state property. The rules are strict on Dayquar. Our choices for change are limited.
It's a bit old, isn't it?
That's a crime boss, right?
I know it's tasteless and cliche. One of the indulgences of great wealth is freedom from other people's opinions.
You've made your point.
Yes, everyone says you're very direct.
The senator has many obligations. She's not to manage her time accordingly.
I like when things are clear. But then, I always get to thinking, it's around the corner.
Your curiosity has clearly been profitable.
I've met your husband several times.
That outfit, though.
Mm-hmm.
I take it that's not a corner we're turning in this conversation.
It is not.
Many cultures don't fully appreciate the clarity of the Chandrilan marriage. Even our own people are confused at times. Boundaries can be liberating. They always have value.
Good. We understand each other.
So, searching for a more fluid banking situation, are we?
We've discussed all this, Dabble.
I'd like to hear her say it.
Yes. We're exploring alternative financing arrangements for our foundation.
As Tay no doubt already told you, we've reached a scale in our holdings that permits a great variety of transactions to be bundled in ways that make outside observation impossible.
Yes, I've been informed.
What's unfortunate is that people such as yourself, those with immaculate reputations, sometimes feel that by taking advantage of the opportunity, they're somehow tarnished. The money's yours. Family wealth is a thing to be proud of, and you ought to be able to move it as you like with your privacy intact. The Empire's new regulations, made without Senate consultation, I might add, are as cumbersome as they are avoidable. They've made a game of it, and we play.
This is a charitable fund you're establishing.
So I've been told.
What will it cost?
My fee?
We assume it's a percentage of funds transferred.
I want no fee. Money means very little to me at this point. Charity, isn't it?
I insist.
And I refuse.
Please take no offense. I'd prefer not to owe any favors. I'd feel far more comfortable paying you for your trouble.
A drop of discomfort may be the price of doing business.
Wow.
Damn.
Let's
I'm logging that.
Mm-hmm.
Return invitation. Like to come back at least once.
Well, I'm sure that's something that can be arranged.
I have a 14-year-old son. I'd like to bring him with me.
Oh, no.
Marriage of convenience.
You can't be serious.
I'm not asking for betrothal.
And what are we talking about?
An introduction. Your daughter's 13. She'll soon come of age. Two young people, attractive and privileged Chandrilan citizens.
What makes you think I approve of that tradition?
Our position sometimes makes decisions for us, don't you find, Senator? Neither of us have lived a life that encourages non-conformity.
Is that your only offer?
I'm afraid so.
Tay will see you out.
Of course.
That's a boss ass bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to think about.
I'm not thinking about it.
That's the first untrue thing you've said. It's been a pleasure.
That was a joust.
Yeah, but as a woman that's not even free in her own house, she's not going to subject her daughter to the same type of
Yeah.
life that she's currently living. Respect.
Anyway, respect.
That's what I thought, so I went to the stairs.
Hope she doesn't go back on that.
It's gone. Clean break, fresh. He wants a meeting, face to face.
There goes the day.
I don't like it. Not now. I don't like the timing.
You don't like anything.
Or at least you need to let me take the fondle, get someplace safe and take care of it.
No, that's not happening. Wasting time. It's been a year. I'm surprised you waited this long.
Then if it's a trap?
Well, if it's a trap, we've already lost. Make your way.
Aw.
Are we really doing this? You still on board?
I want out. Don't care how.
I'm dead.
Well, I don't know, Connor. I've always smelt the engine on my buses.
Don't die till you put up a fight.
Don't die until you put up a
One way
fight.
out.
Come on! Keep it moving! Come on! Get up! Right now, I'm 2 racks behind. We are not gonna close out the shift like that.
Stop right there. On program. Hands on your head, eyes front, feet down.
Keep it moving!
Doesn't look like he's making much progress with that.
They just
Yeah.
need a hole and then they can wrench it open.
If I have to use this, you remember, yes?
What exactly do we think this pipe is for?
Already behind.
I don't know. Maybe to like
It's where all the
Just-
flavor is kept.
disrupt
Bust
the
out
elevator.
the
Maybe?
flavor.
It's Flavor Town.
Maybe it's to
Flavor
disrupt the
Town.
elevator that the prisoner is lowered on.
Maybe, or the floor or something. It looks like there's air in there though, which is what's
It
weird.
could be also a conduit too.
Oh, there's some sort of liquid.
How's it looking out there?
Hydraulics, maybe, like the elevator.
Looks good. Okay, cool.
It might be hydraulics fluid.
Maybe they're just making a flood. Okay. It's not going to be suspicious when you come back soaking wet.
He's not planning to come back.
On program.
Water for conductivity? That's gonna make it worse.
I don't know.
right?
That would make it worse. Maybe, maybe we just don't understand the electricity of the Star Wars universe.
Might not be regular water.
Might be flavor water. We don't know for sure.
Everyone's like, "Oh, he's wet. He got it. He got it done."
On program. New man on the floor. Everyone hold positions.
New man on the floor!
Dude, this is stressing me out.
God, this is so good.
Oh my god.
Lift engaged.
That's a lot of water.
What did you say to me?
I said nothing.
I mean, if you want to say something, you should say it now. Start. Alright, you lot! Back up program!
Oh, visibility.
Dude, he's climbing. Holy. The new guy's helping out.
New guy. Oh, new
rest in
guy.
peace, new guy.
Press F to pay respects.
F in the chats for new man on the floor.
No!
Oh, no!
Oh,
I liked him.
I liked his hair.
I know. The first rule of Andor is like nobody. Dude, you better hope they don't turn this floor on. Or maybe it's like fried the...
Oh, they're gonna short circuit the breaker. With the water,
Oof.
perhaps?
Oof.
Yeah. It's shorted.
They have all the power now. It's over. Let's go, boys.
I bypassed the compressor.
And Andor's still just hanging there.
Andor's using sneak. He's gonna get up and use backstab.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Hey! Jeez.
You better put up. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, let me put some shoes on.
We ain't got time for shoes.
I mean, they must
If
have.
I'm in there, I'm putting shoes on.
They must have shorted the whole damn breaker. Oh no, power's on the other level.
Oh no, it's
The next level.
Oh, that's the signal.
Oh my god, they just leave weapons lying around.
Never more than
Who else
12.
could possibly?
Andor, get some boots on.
But the waters is going to trickle down. They were on level 2, right?
Yeah.
Or what level was they on?
I don't think they're on 2, because they were asking about level 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Get over there and check it out. Now.
5.
If they leave the water, it'll trickle down every level beneath them. Eventually, we'll get the short problem. You got this.
Dude, if they only have 12 guards, why do they have like a whole like militia's worth of weaponry?
Because it's
I
the
think
Empire.
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
The guy in the console said they're getting warning like signals on every panel, so they can't even activate the ground.
Oh, I love that. Oh my god.
There's a lot of wars. And they ain't been doing cardio in a while.
I mean, I feel like they've been working out making those things. We're leaving.
The thing is, here's the thing. Never more than 12, but they have more than 12 blasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like, hate to play this card, but this is America.
Yeah.
We have police departments with like tanks.
Yeah, that's true. This is very much America.
Isolate 5. Locked in. 5-5, 5-3, 5-6. Burn a firewall around it. Try the whole level. Make the epicenter 5-2.
Too late. There's nobody there.
shouldn't be here.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Turn it off!
That could mean so many things.
I'll turn it off.
Now! Shut down the floors, everywhere!
Do it.
No. Don't just turn it off. Cut the power.
It's all hydro. Once we turn it off, it takes months to get it back up and running again. I don't have it.
He
has the
does.
hydro
Now, how are they gonna see?
This is when the Jedi
Whatever,
with the
man.
lightsaber comes. Just kidding.
Luke Skywalker?
It's the hallway scene.
Whose hallway? Who knows? Why was he still
Quinlan
asleep?
Voss.
That guy was just like, let's go. I'm ready.
Get out of there. There. With him. Move! On program!
Oh shit!
Snow hallway scene, right?
Snow hallway scene.
Tell him what to do. It has to be you. Come on, Kino. You do this every day. Tell him what to do.
This is Circus's moment.
If you had one chance,
It's Kino Lloyd,
one shot.
shift manager on level 5. I'm speaking to you from the command center on level 8.
It's giving Snoke. I'm sorry.
We are at this moment in control of the facility.
Is that the best you got?
How long we hang on, how far we get, how many of us make it out, all of that is now up to us. We have deactivated every floor in the we have deactivated every all the floors are cold.
That was Snoke.
Yeah.
Right now, get up. Stop the work. Get out of your cells. Take charge and start climbing.
Climb.
Enough guards.
Climb.
Know it. If we wait until they figure that out, it'll be too late. We will never have a better chance than this. And I would rather die trying.
It was a quotable moment.
What they want.
Why am I tearing up right now?
I don't know.
100 men on level 2. We know that they are making up our sentences as we go along. We know that no one outside here knows what's happening. And now we know.
I don't know who this guy is because they're really focusing on this black
Yeah, this guy, he's the leader now.
Go and die. And that ends today. There is one way out. Right now. The building is ours. You need to run, climb, kill. We need to help each other. You see someone who's confused, someone who is lost. You get them moving and you keep them moving until we put this place behind us. There are 5,000 of us. If we can fight half as hard as we've been working, we will be home in no time. One way out.
The doctor.
One way out.
Why are they gonna leave them alive?
Trailer shot.
Trailer shot.
Yeah. So I always see in movies and shows where they leave the people alive. I wouldn't kill them, but I'd shoot them in the leg. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'd let them remember, and I keep them from being, from hitting us.
That is such a high jump.
All along, they've been on Venice Beach.
Yep.
It's now or never, dude.
Yeah. You gonna learn today how to swim?
Yep.
Man. It's a really beautiful shot.
Your mustache is gross, and I hate it. He's Fulcrum.
I was about to say that. I was like, what are the odds of him being Fulcrum?
It's Callus.
He
hasn't
he's working
gone
with
mutton yet.
aliens, so
Maybe this is
that's
just a
the
young
telltale
Callus.
sign. Before the Cyber era.
Yeah, he tried out a really
Mustache.
gross
He's like,
mustache.
this mustache is gross. And then moves it to his sides.
I need some mutton chops.
That is definitely Clea's inside man.
This is a trap. Press the buttons for 215. We'll have privacy. We're running express. First of all, congratulations.
On what?
Your daughter, healthy, beautiful. You must be pleased.
That was sinister as hell.
It was.
It's been years since we've had a chance to catch up. You've become a father. It's not worth mentioning.
It's not fair. You, knowing, watching me. Do you ever think how it might feel from my side?
I think about you constantly.
Okay.
Why are we here tonight, Lonnie?
There's a new supervisor rising. Vedra Miro. She's focused on a suspect she's calling Axis. She thinks he's building a rebel network. She started looking into stolen Imperial naval equipment, and now she's looking for a link to Aldani.
Dead Ramiro.
There was an incident on Ferrix a few months ago. She thinks there's a link. She's been tearing the place apart. They're searching for a thief and the middleman.
Axis.
She's gathering interest. Partagas likes her.
Oh, this is good. Encourage this.
Why is this good?
Because she's wasting time.
That's true.
Nothing to do with Aldani.
Almost nothing. We were invited, but declined. They got lucky. We'd have been unlucky. This can't be why you're here.
I love Luthen.
Mm-hmm.
She just captured a rebel pilot running supplies for Anto Krieger. They turned him immediately and staged an accident. We know that there's a raid planned on the power station at Spellhouse. If Krieger attacks, they'll be waiting.
And if he doesn't, they'll know something's amiss.
They'll be slaughtered.
It's 50 men.
Jesus.
More than that.
You have to warn them.
To what end? Ruin everything? What better way to reassure the ISB there's no leak in security than sacrificing Krieger?
And this is exactly what he said.
As much
Mhm.
as anything.
me why we're really here today, Lonnie.
I can't do this anymore. I'm a father now. I had no idea how it would feel.
We took a vow.
I'm giving you Dead Ramiro. I'm giving you Spellhouse. I'm warning you about Ferrix. I'm honoring my vow. I've been working my way through there for 6 years. Working my way up. Alone.
What was your plan? Gather a big basket of goodies for me as a farewell gift?
Basically.
Planning to tell the ISB.
My health. My wife's family has an import business.
Even as you say the words, you know it's impossible. We can't let you go, Lonnie. We can't spare you. We've been grooming you for too long, and yes, you've been alone.
You don't tell the person you're grooming that you're grooming them? Is that a thing?
Information that cost me dead. You love your daughter. Previous men will be dying to make sure she has a father. You're trapped, Lonnie. It's no pleasure in saying it, but you're going nowhere.
My sacrifice means nothing to you, does it?
I said I think of you constantly, and I do. Your investment in the rebellion is epic. The double life, everyday performance, the stress of that. We need heroes, Lonnie, and here you are.
And what did you sacrifice?
Calm. Kindness, kinship. Love. I've given up all chance at inner peace. I made my mind a sunless place. I share my dreams with ghosts. I wake up every day to an equation I wrote 15 years ago from which there's only one conclusion. I'm damned for what I do. My anger, my ego, my unwillingness to yield, my eagerness to fight has set me on a path from which there's no escape. I yearn to be a savior against injustice without contemplating the cost, and by the time I look down, there's no longer any ground beneath my feet. What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Now, the ego that started this fight will never have a mirror or an audience or the light of gratitude. So what do I sacrifice? Everything! Just stay with me, Lonnie. I need all the heroes I can get.
That monologue
Damn.
was
Goddamn.
S tier.
Fantastic. S tier. Indeed. Is that snow or sand? Because if it's snow, I bet they're freezing. Oh, it's sand.
No, it's sand. It's sand.
Okay, good. But I bet that's sharp AF on those bare feet.
Holy
No!
crap.
How's it already over?
How long was that episode? How was the show?
38
like,
minutes. Yes.
Man.
Stellan Skarsgård going, God damn.
That monologue.
That changed my life.
That monologue is going to be quoted for years to come. You know, in the best of monologues that they put for like actors to read and
that's
stuff.
the one.
That goes up there with, today will not be this day, and this is, it's giving. I mean, I prefer that to Braveheart. Um, not quite Miracle on Ice. Where we ain't there. We ain't there. But that's cool.
Was it Al Pacino who had the monologue in Devil's Advocate? I don't remember
don't know.
quote to quote, but oh dear.
Power doesn't panic. Oh, there's just. I was going to try and take notes, but I was too engaged, and then,
I
and then the
know.
episode ended.
I mean,
And during Luthen's whole monologue, I was just like, "Oh, that's a good quote. That's a good quote." Like one right after the other, I was like, "Wow, that's impactful." But it was like, bam, bam, bam. Every line was just hard hitting.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and don't worry, guys. We have 6 minutes of credits. I'm gonna have to go back, rewatch that scene, and write down that whole thing because, we got a taste of how far he'll go. He's sacrificing Krieger, and he is making subtle threats to Lonnie's daughter to keep him in line. But then, that monologue is just he is 125% self-aware of what he's doing, and he makes no illusions as to any kind of self-righteousness, right? He's like, yes, I'm a dick.
I'm forced to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them, and that it's wild.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's just it's a mirror exactly to the prisoners breaking out using the tools of their enemies to defeat them.
Yeah. What was
every episode?
What was the title of the episode?
What
was the title of the episode, Pep?
Wow. You know what? I did not look.
I think it was called Prison Break or Prison something.
It probably was Prison Break, but let's see. Oh, One Way Out.
One Way Out. Okay, my favorite thing about this show has been that the title of every episode has been so goddamn perfect.
Yeah,
it's been so perfect. Listen, One Way Out. One Way Out. What does that mean? They choose a title based off of all of the storylines that are going to be featured in the specific episode. We didn't get Dedra focus in an episode. She has
no Cyril.
Yeah, they are the oppressors. They have options. One way out. The prisoners only had one way out. Does the informant, does he have a way out? No, he only has one way. Luthen is I'm fighting for a sunrise I will never see.
I've made my mind a sunless place. No cereal this episode. That's right, Salad. That's right. And we've witnessed this with all of these episodes, like Chaco was saying too, right? With Nobody's Listening. It's always been a through line for every single narrative throughout perspectives. It's one way out for the prisoners, one way out for Luthen, but also using my enemy's weapons to defeat them. Everyone's
one way out for Mon as well.
Oh,
yes.
Jeez.
Sorry, I thought I mentioned that, but I forgot. She's not being given an option. If she's going to support this, she might be being forced to sacrifice her daughter, which is crazy, but serene. And that's a weird situation. I don't even know how to parse. I'm curious your thoughts, Allison, because I don't have the hardware or the software to see this from your perspective, but she is in a weird, awkward, loveless marriage because it was forced on her by Shanjilan custom. Her husband seems to revel in it.
Mm-hmm.
Her daughter is siding with her husband. So if they are still on board with the Chandrilan customs, then they should be for it. But that's not the life she would ever want for them. And this guy is a criminal, even though on paper he's probably squeaky clean. But Mon knows.
Yeah.
Could she send her daughter down that path, even though her daughter would likely willingly go down that path, not knowing what the path is?
I mean, I think
it's so much. There's layers.
It's so much. I think she could get to that point. I don't think she wants to get to that point, but I think she could. And I think that, like, when he was leaving, she says, like, I haven't thought of that, or I'm not thinking about it, or whatever she says. And he's like, that's the first untrue thing you've said all day. Is because, like, she considered it. As quickly as she acted, her knee-jerk reaction was like, absolutely not. But then, I could see the cogs sort of turning of like, well,
yeah, and it goes back to the three
and it's
lines
just
sent
an
to
introduction,
He said, I'm not thinking about it, and he's like, that's the least truthful thing you've said today.
Yeah.
He says it's just an introduction. People don't like him, don't get where they are.
Right.
By revealing their cards, up front. But
exactly.
Last episode, the three lines that Vel said come from Senta. The Empire never sleeps. The rebellion comes first. We take whatever's left. Does that mean her daughter? Because no one cares about her husband. I would punch
if it were her husband, I'd be like, sign him up for whatever misery lies in store. Like
I would pay money to punch him.
Yeah. I'd be like, honestly, can you pay someone to take him out of your life? That'd be great. Well, I think it's kind of like, in the Princess Leia of Alderaan book, where Bail tries to hide a lot of this stuff from Leia for so long that she ends up figuring it out herself.
Being angry at her parents.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder, and eventually, begrudgingly, Bail sort of lets Leia be a part of like a galactic rebellion. And I'm sure that when he signed up to do these things, that was not on his radar at all. So I don't know. I think that war and rebellions and things can make people behave in ways they typically wouldn't. And I think it's a real possibility that she could get that introduction. I hope not, though.
Well, Rams raises a good point. We're down to the last two episodes, I believe, and I feel like Andor still doesn't have a reason to fight for the rebellion. And I think what I'm speculating right now is that it's going to be Melshi. They've all they've all made landfall. Where are they going to go?
What do you mean he doesn't have a reason to fight? I'm sorry. I know you're reading the question.
Well, I mean, holistically, he doesn't.
They disagree.
I think being
Narkina emphatic disagree. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, think about it. Belsavis and Narkina 5, they're not an imperial facility. It's a private company. He might have been incarcerated by the Empire, but still he lived that life beforehand. He lived the life with the Empire there.
Yeah, I kind of think that it'll be like now Cassian is like a wanted guy. Like by Cassian's wanted, Keith is wanted. Like he's got how many aliases now that are like being tracked down by the Empire. I have to wonder if he'll turn to the rebellion at first just for like protection, because who else is gonna like, I don't know.
See, Stewart raises a good point too. He says he has a reason to resist but not fight. I think is what he means.
Okay, but hear me out. He had this conversation with his mom. They had that conversation. Let's run. Like the Empire has been a bitch. It's been encroaching. It's been terrible. It's been oppressive. It's been doing all of these things. But Cassian grew up where there were feral refugees, like surviving from these people. He knows this. He knows what they are, and he says, you know what? I can sneak in and do things because they are so fat and happy they don't even think about us. They don't even notice us. But he wanted to bring his mom to that location in Space Florida. In Space Tampa, right?
Yeah.
What did she say? She's like, I'm not leaving because there's no place they won't be or they won't go to. Yeah. There's no choice but to fight. And he learned firsthand by doing nothing. He didn't get arrested for what he did on Aldhani. He got arrested for doing nothing. And he found out that arresting is a life sentence. And he did nothing. You have to fight at that point in time. There's nothing else but the fight. Because doing nothing only gets you eternally imprisoned or executed. There's only one way out.
Tied it right back.
Well, so see, if you had let me finish, I would have gotten there. Because, like I said, they made landfall. They had nowhere to go, and Melshi brings him to a rebel cell, and then he's hesitant about it. He's like, I don't know, I want to run away or something like that, something to that effect. He's hesitant. Melshi turns to him and says, gives him a rifle, and he says, one way out. And that's when he makes the final decision to join. Because at this moment, he's on the beach with nothing. Right? He needs a path to the rebellion again. And Luthen's busy. Saw's doing something else.
Luthen wants to kill him.
So does he join the group that is being surveyed and ambushed by the Empire?
I don't know. Are these events in tandem or...
These events are in tandem. I don't know when the attack is.
I still think he's not going to join Anton Krieger's group. I still think like they're going to show Dedra completely miss the ball. Like, she's going to spring the trap. It's like Andor's nowhere to be found. Excuse me. So they have to show that. I just think Andor is going to land where he needs to land. He's going to land in the rebel cell that is like, with Melshi and that crew, right?
Yeah. I have a random and totally unrelated question. How on earth is Allison wearing both the most comfortable looking sweater I've ever seen in my entire life? Ever. And what I assume are Hello Kitty headbands. My wife loves Hello Kitty.
Yes.
Because of the bow. And both the sweater and your headbands match the chair that you're in.
I don't know. I was looking.
What happened?
The headband, the headset was intentional. Like I've got like the pink gaming type of setup going on for myself. The blue sweatshirt, when I came on today, I was like, I'm low-key matching. If you keep this yellow out of it, you can't even tell.
No.
Oh no, the yellow matches.
Matches
Like little
in the effects on the screen, which is also insane. But even without that, it's that splash of color.
This needs to be like my streaming outfit then.
Wild. I
love it.
that's the Dyad fit right there.
Right. I'm manifesting my own Dyad with my desk chair.
I am wondering now too. I mean, like, it looks like you shopped for that chair, wearing that sweater, and you're like, it matches. I'm getting the chair this color.
No, I didn't. It's a diva chair. I don't know if you can see like the little.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted Overwatch. Okay, sorry. I'm getting off topic.
I know. I was like, I can go all night with my nerdiness.
Saberlife,
we're best friends now, but
Saberlife says, how good was that episode? So proud to be a Star Wars fan right now. Right?
So proud.
That was. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Luke. I love George Lucas. I love the prequels. That's what I grew up with. Well, no, I grew up with the special editions, but I love the prequels, and he couldn't write that. He couldn't have written this episode. That's not possible.
No.
Dave Filoni couldn't write this episode.
No.
I don't even know how this episode happened, but I love it. And Andor is officially my favorite Star Wars show.
I think
live action. I don't know if it surpasses Rebels yet. I don't know that I can compare the two categories. I don't know how to compare the two, but whatever. But I see Surin Itimi Akanioye says anyone thinks Kino, who cannot swim, made it out. Must be those who cannot swim too.
No, he was on the he made landfall with Andor. He was running on the beach with him at the end there.
Wait, he was?
Yeah.
Am I dumb? I missed that. I thought that was Melchi.
I thought that was Melchi as well.
We're gonna have to watch that again really quickly.
Yeah.
I thought that was Melchi.
But okay. For just I enjoy writing stories. I'm a bad writer, and you'll never read anything I've written. Maybe something in the future, but I would kind of love it if Kino stayed behind, because it puts him in the exact same place as everyone else in this episode. They're kind of trapped in this thing that they can't escape, and they are fighting for a sunrise that they will never see themselves.
I kind of hope that they just kind of. I hope it's a forever unanswered question.
Yeah,
personally.
it was.
You know, like Schrodinger's Kino Loy, where it's like, did he jump or did he stay?
Cassian it's gonna be at a cafe in Italy.
No, I'm gonna take the ladder here. I think Kino jumped. I think he finally learned to swim.
Oh, for sure he jumped. I just don't know if he learned. He ain't staying there.
But yeah, the captions at the end also confirmed Cassian and Melchi panting. But see that
confirmed.
That goes to like me thinking that Melchi brings him to where he needs to go, because Melchi was like on board with this before Cassian jumped on, right? He was communicating with the other levels, and
I also think that like Cassian is a little bit more like, he's a natural leader, even if like he doesn't think that he is or he doesn't recognize it. Like he literally just led an entire prison outbreak essentially by himself.
So,
like not by himself, but he was like, I'm in charge of this now. And, you know, I
He's
think
a
he
call to
has a
action,
lot
that's
more.
what he is.
He's a call
I'm
to
gonna-
action kind of guy.
I'm actually going to disagree with that because,
Okay.
and it's only because I feel a kinship with him.
Okay.
I've been in leadership positions and I hate it. I don't like it. I can do it, and if no one else is standing up, if someone else is willing to stand up, I'll be like, yes, you do it. This is what you do. This is what
Fair
they
enough.
need. And like you know, like he's like a hype man for leadership is what I feel. I could be. I mean, could be wrong. I'm not saying what you're saying isn't true.
I mean, I guess it's hard to know. Like, we're not Andor, we're not Cassian, but
I'm just thinking like his voice, his cadence, and all this stuff. He's like, you have to do this, and he's like encouraging. You know, and Andy Serkis he just feels like the ultimate theater kid of all time. I don't think there's anything that guy can't do. Andy Serkis was amazing in this episode.
he was so good. So good.
This is for sure my favorite episode. And every episode, in my opinion, has been better than the previous one, except the last one. But that may only be because I feel like there's a slight dip. But it's only because in the previous episode, we had Stellan Skarsgård and Forrest Whitaker in a conversation. And that's like, you can't.
Yeah.
Hard to
top.
That's tough.
To be fair, if you watch the recap at the beginning, that happens every time. That happens every episode.
You know, it's funny. At the beginning, they asked, "What's your favorite episode?" Or someone asked, and I said that it's tough to decide. It's tough to choose.
They're all amazing.
But after this episode, it's like I can, like, right now. I don't know if it's recency
Pretty
bias,
easy.
but it's definitely my favorite right now.
You know, Ivan Reyes in chat says, "Where is Andor's sister?"
I still think Andor's sister
That
is
was the
with Saw.
catalyst.
She's who? What'd you say?
I think she's with Saw.
Oh,
I think, you know,
Whoa,
Andor
I
joins the rebellion with Melshi, and they come to blows with Saw's group because they're doing something extreme. Finds that his sister's actually part of the group, and then there's like a moral quandary between the two. That are like, what are you doing? What are you like? Why are you doing these things? It's like, you have to fight. You know?
wow. That's really in depth.
I see. I personally, I would love that. There's two ways to go with it. It's either that or the exact opposite of that. And I really don't see any in between, like a writing perspective. If you found out that your sister took what happened to you guys, but specifically her losing you as the person protecting her to the extreme level, because he didn't have a choice, right? He was knocked unconscious and taken away from the planet. And then the Republic came and they found a bunch of, I don't know, feral people that had murdered a couple people, Republic officers. Yeah, I don't know how they would react, and I don't know who would survive, but I think she would hold a grudge, and I think she would accuse them of like her brother going away forever. So you can either fight, or maybe I grew up in all this disorder and chaos and death and destruction. We lost everything. We need order.
Yeah.
I can see her joining like an empire as well. Either way, I hope they cross paths again, because that was a catalyst for this whole show. I think that's a loose end they need to tie up, because you can't show us clips from his childhood and
I doubt they would, you know.
It's been excellent writing.
Yeah, the show is very intentional. The fact that they already know like how many episodes they're making and kind of where they're headed and where they're going. I think we're going to figure out the answer to that question, whether we like it or not. Part of me feels like we won't like it because we never saw his sister or even mentioned in Rogue One.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he had something to live for in Rogue One, that movie would have gone a bit differently. So, I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That hurts.
I was about to say, that just ruined Choco's night.
Kay in the chat asks, "Did that many prisoners drown? It only showed Cassian and Melshi at the end." I think everyone like went their like separate ways. Like they have like.
I'm sure some people drowned, but
Yeah,
like
not everybody.
not everyone's gonna go to the same place, and also you shouldn't. Can you imagine? Like
that'd just be like
one town, 5,000 prisoners. Hell, hi. that's not inconspicuous, and what they need is inconspicuous. So
Yeah.
I assume they all spread out.
I have to wonder how they're gonna get off this planet without like somebody, you know, like that's a lot of people that are either gonna have to lay low for like a really long time or get off the planet super fast before word can get out that they're like escapees.
I'll come back to this.
But
comment.
the Empire's weird though, because the Empire is not honest. The Empire is obsessed with
order.
With its ability to create order, and if the general population understood that everyone broke out and there's a bunch of prisoners mixed in with the general population,
they lose faith in the Empire.
I could see them arguing against telling everyone. There's a lot of possibilities. I don't know. I'll wait for them to say what happened and then be like, no, that's trash. But we'll see.
Rams says Aquino 100% got eaten by a sea creature, and years later he emerges as Snoke. It would make sense too, because he's been there to see the rise and fall of the Empire. But actually, wait, because
well, that kind of sorry, this kind of reminds me about the one story where Chuck Norris was having sex in the truck, and some semen landed in the truck, and it became Optimus Prime. It's kind of a similar thing.
Richard says, "Did you guys notice the ships with spotlights searching the waters for escapees?"
I did.
So that's how they get off. They're gonna steal some ships.
Oh, they're not done fighting.
They're not. It's only one way out. There's only one way out.
And that is okay. I feel like this is when it comes to like investing. What he said being true. So he says, "I consider myself dead now." Like that's baseline is I'm dead. Anything above that is an improvement. You know what I mean? Like, this is all lost. If I survive, that's a win. You know, you set when you set your own parameters, it's beautiful. And then also, as Keiki most recently said, climb. I love that the theme keeps coming back. And I need to revisit episode 3 to see if it's in there at all. But I hope that the word climb is somewhere embedded in every finale of every arc.
Yeah.
Also, if it's the Death Star they're helping build, it would make sense for why Tarkin is so on top of Krennic by season 4 of Rebels, Thrawn treason. I'm on the side that it doesn't really matter what they were building at this point. I think the whole point of the prison was to show that the Empire could and would just keep them all there working.
Yeah.
So that is one place I will diverge, and it's only because today I've been doing a crazy amount of Revenge of the Sith deep dives. This is the archives books. along with the director's commentary, along with like just a bunch of other stuff, and like, well, for one, bro, I mean, Star Wars has always been political, but I didn't know exactly how political it was until you read Dave Filoni talking about, not Dave Filoni, what did I say, Dave
George
Filoni?
Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas talking about like the thing that inspired me to make this was that Richard Nixon wanted to run for a third term and wanted to change the Constitution to allow
Emergency
himself to it,
powers.
and then like and this is like this is just a really big deep dive. I'm considering making videos on it. I don't know how well I'll do, but because it feels like the loudest portion of the fan base is the opponent of Star Wars, which is also weird. But but it's, I don't know. It's just like Kagi says. It's free. Wars are hard. I have so many thoughts through that episode. I have so many thoughts. I feel like I'm gonna reach out to Shayla Wren, and I'm just trying to just have a conversation. I don't care if she can come on or not. I just want to talk to her and a couple other people about this, because there's some deep implications. But the start of the Clone Wars, this is where I'm going with all this. The start of the Clone Wars is corporate interest in politics, and the amount of power that corporations were starting to attain in the Senate, and then how that could then influence the Jedi. Also, because of all the stuff, there was things that were not being taken care of, and so that's why they elected one person to say solve these problems, because we are not all agreeing. And that's how dictatorships rise out of republics, out of democracies. And that is the whole purpose of Star Wars, is to tell that story. And I feel like that's exactly what we are seeing on the screen right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kay says, "Oh wow." Ooh, that's interesting too to point back to. I hope Andor's money and manifesto is back at Nymos. I'm interested in Nemec's manifesto. Where is that going? Where did that go?
Still maintain manifesto is the last thing he picks up in season 1.
Could be.
Oh, also, you heard it here first. Chaco prediction.
Oh.
The Acolyte.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of news on that one.
What about the Acolyte?
They started production.
We find out that the apprentice at the time of the Acolyte is Sifo Dyas.
The apprentice?
Yes. Sifo Dyas was Palpatine's apprentice before Maul.
Oh.
So you think Li Jung-jae is Sifo Dyas?
That's not what I said. He could be anything.
No, but I was trying to use my dyadic powers to read the mind, because
no, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I haven't gotten to the castings.
Well,
I can't.
Here's where it makes sense, though.
Sorry, my cat is like trying to knock down a glass jar. I'm gonna stop this from happening.
So here's where it makes sense, though. The synopsis for Acolyte says that, you know, there was a Padawan and a Master reunite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sifo Dyas is a Master. Li Jung-jae looks like a Master type character. Could be Master Sifo Dyas and his Padawan, Amandla Stenberg. And it could be about Li Jung-jae being the Acolyte, and Amandla Stenberg is the one that doesn't fall. Like, we've been thinking this whole time that, like, it's the Acolyte, it's a young Padawan that falls, but going off of what you just pointed out, it does make sense that the Master falls.
Is the Acolyte? I thought the Acolyte was being held like in the time of the High Republic.
The tail
wrong?
end.
It says the tail
end. Oh, okay, okay.
Republic. So it's like
that's basically the Republic.
It's anywhere from like 90 to 80 BBY.
Oh, okay. Then that could play out.
Yeah.
I could see a world where Cypher Diaz is sitting on the Jedi Council and as a Sith Lord at the same time.
Be bonkers.
Well, hold on.
I would love to see it.
We have some.
Okay.
Sifo Dyas was born 102. How does that work? Kay says that they've also confirmed that. Yeah, they're right. It is 100 years before TPM, so it is 132. I forgot that they confirmed that timeline recently.
I didn't. But.
So that theory's gone.
No, it's not gone.
It's not gone.
First you have to ask, so how could it work? I honestly do think, because I've been doing a deep dive in all of my research material. After Tales of the Jedi came out, I had questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
This entire time, I've been under the impression, I guess under the assumption, not impression, right? Nothing gave me this impression. It's been my own personal assumption that Count Dooku acted as Sifo Dyas in order to order the clone army because of his visions, which we see in Dooku Jedi Lost. But we know that after the events of Dooku Jedi Lost, he does sit on the council, and things seem to point that Sifo Dyas actually was the one that ordered the clone army. And we don't know if he was acting as a Jedi, or if something else was going on, or if he was being played. There's a lot of gray area in that. We don't know much about Sifo Dyas at all.
Yeah.
I'd wager that it's the other way around, though. I'd wager that Sifo Dyas ordered the clone army with good intentions. Otherwise, Dooku wouldn't have had to assassinate him to usurp that order and put in the chips.
Perhaps.
Unless he just wanted them out of the way.
Well, the original order didn't have the inhibitor chips. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Yeah.
And that's the hard part about all this stuff is George Lucas very, very famously would start with an idea, and it would evolve, and it would evolve and evolve and evolve until the release date of the film, and you would end up in a different place than you started completely. But I do know at one point in time he intended Sifo Dyas to be the Sith Lord before Maul.
Oh yeah, of course. There's also behind the scenes of I think Filoni was talking about it, about how George Lucas named Sifo Dyas. It was a typo. It was supposed to be Sidious.
Of an anagram.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite fun fact. Is someone just read it out like Sifo Dyas, and he was like, literally, who is that? And they're like, it's what you typed. He was like, I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Sidious. But we still run into the chronological problem of the 132 BBY.
Unless maybe Sifo Dyas is some non-human species that can live just a really long time.
Yeah, he's human.
Well,
yeah, Sifo Dyas is really human.
Tried to make it work. He's just a humanoid species, maybe, that lives 300 or 400 years on average.
Listen, I'm throwing this out. I'm gonna wait. You see. You'll see. You'll all see.
One thing's for sure. Well, not for sure, but like one thing is, I do think that Amandla is the Padawan and Li Jung-jae is the Master. And I think it makes
like,
more sense.
Daphne
that the Master,
King. I don't know that got me hype.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. 132 BBY. There's still a lot of time until we see most of the prequel cast, really.
Yeah, I'm sure Yoda will be there.
Yes.
Just for a familiar face, you know. We can't have anything without a Yoda.
And we better have Yaddle there as well. So let's bring Bryce Dallas Howard back.
Yeah. she can do the puppeteering.
400 something. And then Plo Koon. We just really need to canonize his freaking his species' lifespan.
Stuart of Oscar says in the EU it was Higo Damask, the Playboy billionaire. Listen, he was a billionaire. He was in no way a Playboy. That was not a thing. Listen.
We'll just have to see. But yeah, Acolyte is also on my list for sure. The most anticipated. Just because, you know, we need more Sith stuff.
We need more Sith stuff.
I want Sith stuff.
Absolutely. We just need more dark side stuff. But for Stuart of Oscar, I'll say but between Pep and myself, you're gonna be talking to people that are actually gonna do the research. We're gonna dive deep in this. We'll let you know.
We'll all come up with a theory for the Acolyte.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be not hard, but I think a lot of it, every speculation I've heard thus far has been very much centered around like legends characters like Bane and like stuff like that, which that'd be cool.
It would be really cool. This might be me being a dick or something like that. I find a lot of the content I've been seeing around people making prediction that this is around Bane, around this stuff, hasn't read the Bane book, hasn't read Plagueis, hasn't, you know what I mean? And which is okay, but like if it doesn't make you more of a fan to read it than not read it or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. You need to get your facts straight.
You just need to make sure it makes
someone
sense in canon, really.
My friend Mandalorian historian on TikTok has been making a bunch of videos that make it clear that he's never read the source material, and it hurts my brain. It hurts me so much to be like, all of this is wrong. I understand why you think that from reading a Wikipedia article, but all of it is wrong.
Yeah, that's why, like, I never read Legends, and I just don't even attempt to like try and decipher it. Like, I know the very basic plot lines of almost every Legends character, but when people tell me about storylines that mean a lot to them, or storylines that they really like or want to see adapted into live action, I'm always just like, that's cool. Like, I'm not gonna try and say like that it could or couldn't happen.
Well, a lot of Legends is great, and I do recommend reading it. I would probably read the re-releases from Lucasfilm, because they are saying this is part of the Essentials collection, because there's a lot of really bad stuff that has come out, and they're remaking all of the really good stuff. So I think that's a really safe place to be. I just see a lot of content creators who read synopsises on Wikipedia, and those Wikipedia synopsises are written by people who watched someone else's YouTube video, and it's all bad, you know.
Yeah.
And we get all weird.
There's only one other story that happens in around that time, so we could see Maz Kanata.
Absolutely.
I would love to see Maz.
I don't know if
What if Maz is the bad one?
you should look up A Recipe for Death. It's kind of like a funny little story about, like, you know, a chef that was it about someone who was murdered, and they suspect someone because they're trying to, like, steal his recipe or something. I forgot already. It's a short story, but it's in Takodana's castle, or Maz's castle.
Yeah, I don't think I read that one. Here it says Wikipedia is the center of information. Wikipedia is not a center for information. It is a center for a fan-edited information aggregator.
I kind of see it as like a reference point.
It is.
Like,
yes.
You get to see where they're getting it.
I use it as a reference
exactly. Because it's like, oh, what all like appearances does this character have? That's kind of where I use Wikipedia, or like if I forget the plot points of a book that I've read, or if I'm like, what's this again?
I use it mainly to find episodes. If I need like a clip of something or like B-roll, I'm like, when does this happen? And I go to this person's Wikipedia page and I look for the part where it happens. And I click on the little footnote. It takes me to the episode of Rebels or Clone Wars. It is an aggregator, and it's a great place to look at like when things happen around certain characters, and then you look at the footnote and the citation, and you go to the source of where it came from and read it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're not reading someone else's contextual interpretation, you're getting the information directly.
Yeah, and also Wikipedia, like, people, I think, like, it doesn't do a fantastic job all the time of differentiating like what pieces of information they get from Legends and what pieces of information they get from canon.
Oh no, it's absolutely
it's all just mixed in, and I get people all the time in my TikTok comments being like, well, Wikipedia says this, and I'm like, well, that's Legends, that's not what I'm talking about, that's not real right now in this conversation.
Even when they have two separate tabs for canon and Legends, in canon they will have a blurb from Legends, and it says from Legends. And I'm like, but why is it in the canon section? We don't need to know it's from Legends. Just go to the Legends tab.
Marcelo Chong, hey guys, great episode. 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely. Andy Serkis is the GOAT. Yeah. Andy Serkis, live action Andy Serkis is the king of scene stealing, in my personal opinion. I think he's learned how to act and convey emotion, intention, thought through digital means before we even had good internet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like,
he's the father of mocap.
Yeah.
And in this, we get to see, like, I mean, him as Claw in the first Black Panther, I think is my favorite performance of him, because he was unhinged but intelligent and like had this weird lucidity. It was wonderful. But what were we gonna say, Allison?
I was just saying, like, I think that because he's so expressive and his body language is just perfect, and I feel like he has control over every muscle in his face, every muscle that controls his eyes. Like, he's very expressive, which not only gives him the upper hand, like in real life acting, but I think that's what makes him such a fantastic, like, motion capture actor as well. Is it's just like he encompasses the entire being of what he's doing, because he's so expressive. And he's great.
Exactly. And I think that's what comes from being such a, prolific motion capture actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's forced to emote stuff through these weird digital means, so when he does it on screen, we see it and we feel it. And when he's giving that speech, I don't often in shows feel tears behind my eyes. I felt it in this episode a bunch of times.
Yeah.
It was tough.
4 a.m. here in Lima, Peru, but totally worth it. Right on. Shout out to Lima, Peru.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We just...
Yeah, if you're new to the stream, don't forget to subscribe and give the stream a like. We go live every Saturday for Dyad and the Force, but we are definitely going to do more content here for you guys.
We're Star Wars fans who love Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
If you've gotten tired of hearing Star Wars hate and then be like, if you hate this thing, why are you watching it every single week? Yeah, no, this is your place.
This is the place.
Hang out with us. You're with family. This is the Olive Garden. We'll bring your breadsticks.
All of this gives more weight to the original trilogy and Luke destroying the Death Star. This is true. It's all building.
Not only is it building, but I think it gives more depth to what the Jedi do and can do.
Mm-hmm.
How terrifying is the Empire in this show? The Empire is not a joke. They aren't a faceless army for the heroes to mercilessly kill and we just not care about. They represent a presence that is insurmountable for the regular person.
Yeah. I thought I updated.
And how do you feel, Allison, about how the Empire has been represented with? Because we've only seen very few stormtroopers, very few TIE fighters.
Well, I think that I really appreciate that at this sort of juncture because it feels a lot more real and organic because it's like we don't go out every day in America and on the street there's Marines and armed guards everywhere we go. But that doesn't mean that the systems that are in place are not oppressive and overwhelming. That is, a lot of times it's this stuff that's happening behind the scenes, and it's like what Cassian was saying, nobody knows that you're in this prison. The people on the outside have literally no idea of what goes on in here. So I think it's sort of highlighting the sort of the nooks and crannies of the oppression of the Empire, which is hard to convey, but I think they're doing it really well. They're not making it this threat of stormtroopers and army men necessarily. It's really intense in a lot of subtle ways, which I appreciate.
That's true, though. Man, oh man, oh man. Yes, shout out to Luthen's speech, epic. One of the best monologues in Star Wars. Man. You guys are rocking the chat right now. I mean,
Right? This is unusual, and it's hurting me because I actually have to do a sleep study tonight. So.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Are you time crunched? Do you have to do it at a specific window?
I have to do it for a specific length of time. I expanded that length today, but yeah, we'll be good. I am a little hurt because low key I got invited to a Black Panther party thing tonight, but sleep thing was tonight, so I couldn't go. Anyways.
Did you guys think that Kino's alive? I think he's alive. I don't think
he's alive in my heart, and that's all I care about. Don't tell me. I will keep an eye on canon. I will let people know if I find a canon death for him. But how many canon deaths do we have for characters? We don't care. We enjoy their
essentially
life.
no one.
As Yoda says, rejoice. We're supposed to rejoice for the life. He led how many people?
We're all alive in the Force if you think about it.
Yes. There's one way out.
One way out, the Force.
Kay's like, no, I don't think Kino's alive. But they did kind of leave it open. Kay's savage like that, though.
Kay, I'm gonna come with you this. Never mind. I love you.
All right. It looks like. Well, I can see clearly that there is some fade happening. It is late, probably early for a lot of people in other time zones. I know it's 4 a.m. in Lima, Peru. It is early in the morning for people over the pond, and I think I hear birds. Is that you?
Hopefully there's no birds where I am.
I hear like morning chirps. That's what I hear.
I don't think it's me. It's a solid 3:30 for me right now.
But yeah, we're going to end the stream here, guys. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for a High Ground podcast with Darth Chaco at 5 p.m. They'll be talking about the episode more. And then we will also...
Yeah, we'll be diving into it with Nerdy Nightly. We got Young, All-Star Cast, as usual.
All-Star Cast.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, we'll be talking about it. No, we're not. On Saturday, we're going to have our 100th episode cookout. So we're just going to go live and hang out with everybody and eat some good food. And you can eat with us too if you plan it right. Just plan your dinners and stuff and lunches around that. We'll be live around like 3 to 4 p.m. and just kind of hanging out and eating food. But yeah, we'll end the stream here, guys. Don't forget to follow Allison on TikTok. It is written right there. Ali_son_of_Deathamir_gang. And of course, Darth Chaco on TikTok. But I think that's the end. On to the next one.
For life.
We're all the Republic.
And of course, be with you.
One
Force be with you.
way.
One way out. That's